Hello and welcome back to Berserker, and we are going to be fighting against Mr. Hashan's army here. Now this guy is obviously very badly outnumbering us, and he also has more combat strength as well. So this is possibly going to be a pretty bad situation for us to be in. However, here's the thing. If we can do this, I think the Azurai will probably not have pretty much anything that they can do against us going forward. Now, bear in mind that there have been a number of rebel factions that have cropped up as well, and I was attempting to rectify the situation because they had given me a notification, you know, those little notification icons on the right side of the screen, and they'd given me one of those, and I was like, oh, okay, let me just click on that and see what's going on. And then they said, this kingdom decision is no longer relevant. So I was thinking to myself, oh, okay. I'm not entirely sure what was going on there, but I suppose it stopped or something. I didn't notice anything change on the world map, by the way, so none of the fiefs have been changed in terms of their ownership or anything like that, so yeah, it's kind of a bit strange. But anyway, in an effort to you know, stop the crashing and everything, I have disabled the dismemberment mod, and I'm very much hoping that that is going to be the reason why it was actually crashing to begin with, because we've had issues with crashing before, but I thought that I had fixed it through some other means, like, you know, sometimes the dismemberment mod might have had some issues with us, or generally it might have been something to do with some interaction with that. And, well, yeah, as I say, I feel like maybe I've done a good job of maybe making that work for us quite nicely now. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully it's not going to crash. But if it does, then, well, then I guess I'm just going to have to avoid this particular fight. I was actually just waiting at Ortisia for no apparent reason. I was just waiting there, just, you know, just to see what kind of happens and everything, just to make sure that we're all good in terms of the rebel factions and everything, just making sure that enemies are not going to be continuously being created by rebel factions and various other various other circumstances cropping up all over the place, which would be somewhat threatening to our livelihood. So I'm very much hoping that that is a very limited thing for them to do. But anyway, let's see if I can... Oh, let's take out that guy. Oh, I love the ragdolls. I really do. They are fantastic. Oh, hello there. I'm getting pushed out of the way. Oh, look at that guy. He had a somersault. He was like toppling over. He was like a circus performer or something like that. Literally, like an acrobat. Crazy. That was amazing. Anyway, yeah, I should be okay here. I mean, my forces are completely devastating the enemy's lines. I mean, generally the AI doesn't really act that smart with their forces. They do tend to, as I've said before, they do tend to send in their cavalry way too early, and they send them in by themselves as well. As we've seen in previous defeats, while they are rare, they do happen. And when they happen, usually it is due to one of two things. Either we are significantly injured, which is the most probable thing to happen. You know, we're significantly injured, I get killed, you know, I make a bad decision or something like that, so human error in that case. Or it is the fact that the AI actually happens to make a good choice for once. And that is a bit rarer than the other thing, even though generally humans will make more mistakes than an AI would most of the time, because AI is, well, I mean, it's obviously, you know, programmed to do a certain thing, and it does have some variables, of course, that you have to take into account, but, you know, it's less likely to make the same consistent mistake unless that is obviously programmed into it. And we are playing on the highest AI difficulty, by the way, so obviously we're not playing on the setting that makes them silly, you know. So yeah, that's also something to bear in mind. Anyway, once this is done, we are going to be moving on to Azurai territory, as the Vlandians, obviously we made peace with them in the previous episode, and we are not really going to need to worry about them that much. I should really take out these. You know, I love the javelins, I really do, but it is very, very difficult to use them against... here we go, hello. Ah, just so close. Just so close. I really wanted to get that guy dead. Ooh, we almost got him. Is that Hashan himself? That is Hashan himself, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. Okay, yeah, well, I'm just going to zoom. Just going to speed things up a little bit here. And we will hopefully then be able to either route them so that they run away, or we'll be able to chase him down. And there we go. We actually did end up chasing him down, which is pretty nice. And there you go. We literally lost... Wow. That's pretty significant, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, they had so much more combat strength than us. They had, what, 200, 250 more combat strength? I'm actually surprised that they still had difficulties even inflicting more than 30 casualties upon us. But apparently they did. I'm not entirely sure why. But anyway, we're going to release all of them because that is what we do. We want to try and maximize the amount of relation gain that we're going to get. And I'm also going to be taking all of the loot here as well. Bear in mind that I actually have a significant amount of money now, and I don't think we really need to worry about money unless there is a vassal in the near future that is very much demanding of a very high cost or price for being persuaded to join our faction. That is the only thing that I can really think of that would cost us a decent amount of money. So let's just go into the tavern here. 50,000, very nice. We already made 31,000 from the loot as well. And there we are. Okay, so this is what's currently going on. As I said, the rebellion of some factions has gone on, but I don't think we've lost anything. I mean, we lost this castle over here, but that was taken by something else, because obviously I took it and then just left it, and I already said that that's not that big a deal. Akalat is under siege at the moment, which is obviously a bit of a problem, as we don't have any armies in that area, as you can see. And we've only got Abelitos and Adas's army, and you can see here that we have Roosevelt, Zane right there, as well as Fea, and they are all in Vlandian territory, which I'm very much hoping they will not continue to be. I would very much appreciate it if they would actually move away from there, because they are not really being that useful right now. So hopefully they will, decide to do something kind of soon. But otherwise, yes, I do need to speak to some of... Wow, do you see the amount of clans that we have in our faction right now? It's pretty crazy. Anyway, 118 units, super easy for us to take this. I'm going to take this real quick. Alright, so I've just had Siga pass by me, as you can see right there, and we literally have seen her run by with 2,400 combat strength. So she's going to join an army that has that amount of combat strength. I cannot even imagine how anything can stand up against that. That is really crazy. Anyway, we're going to take Quyaz here. As I said, we took Tubalist Castle extremely fast, and we really don't have to worry about that because there were only 118 units in there or something along those lines. And we are now going to be making our way in. I'm going to try and get some fun kills with our thrown weapons in this one, because this is one of the final episodes for the Berserker series, regretfully. I mean, obviously I actually kind of... well, it is inevitable that a series is going to end at some point. However, it is always kind of a bit sad, you know? It's a bit sad to say goodbye to a particular character that you've been playing for so many months. Well, technically it's been, what, one episode per day, or, yeah, well, sometimes I would miss a day or two, but yeah, about 2 months been playing this. So, yeah, it's always kind of sad to say goodbye to these, especially considering you get so used to playing a particular character, and then you just, all of a sudden, you're playing something completely different, and it's a bit jarring initially. And that's the reason why whenever you see me create a new series, I'm usually awful, because I am so used to having a high proficiency character, you know? And I'm not trying to make excuses here, but that's just the reality of the situation. I'm just not very good at, shall we say, adapting that fast, you know? Some people are very good at adaptation, and I'm not particularly good at that, especially when creating new characters in Bannerlord. So, yeah, I'm not even entirely sure what my next character is going to be, by the way. So, I'm gonna have to see what's going on with that. I'm trying to get some really yeah. Oh, there we go. Go! Oh, I wanted to get him down the stairs. Let me just wait and see if I can. Yeah, there we go. He's going flying. Yeah, oh, I wanted to get him off the stairs right there too. Oh well. never mind. But yeah, I have no ideas right now for the next character, but I think I might like to play without mods. But if you have any mod suggestions that you can give me that you think would be relatively unintrusive to the gameplay experience, then I would be pretty happy to hear that. I mean, usually I do install Chaos's tweaks because I personally prefer the streamlined way that it gives you a little bit more experience, and it does give you more attribute points and focus points and so on and so forth if you so desire it, and it makes it a lot easier to produce a series. And that's my point. It does make it easier to produce a series so that I don't have to play for 10 hours a day to, you know, try and earn enough experience or whatever it is to be able to advance my character in a suitable time frame, you know what I mean? So yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you have any suggestions for any mods that you think would be unintrusive and would not change the game in such a significant way unless there's a clear theme to them, obviously, like for example the Cal Radier Expanded mod. I mean, absolutely love that mod, it's really fantastic, but it does change things so dramatically that it would be very difficult to uninstall it if problems crop up, if you know what I mean. And that's the thing that I want to be very, very careful of in the new series, because I gotta say, I'm getting frustrated with the crashes. Thankfully, we haven't received any in this episode so far, and it might be, as I say, due to the dismemberment or whatever. But I'm looking forward to actually upgrading and updating to the next version of the game, because there are many fixes, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what has changed, because every single time I update, there's been a lot of different changes, and I think to myself, oh, look at that, they've changed that, that's cool. Oh, they've added this perk, they've changed this perk, and so on. And it's just a very exciting experience. So I'm looking forward to that. That's I love, you know, the thrown weapon thing that allows javelins to go through shields. That is probably the most fun ever. Really, it is, because you're literally seeing these guys holding up their shields, and you're like, oh, that's not gonna save you, sir. That is not gonna save you. And then all of a sudden, boom, they just go flying back because you hit them with such force. It's really a huge amount of fun. Anyway, let's try and see if I can maybe continue to slaughter them, and hopefully we will achieve victory at Quyaz shortly. Phew, that was a little bit close. A little bit close for my liking. Oh, never mind. Yeah, they apparently have multiple spots that they can, well, shall we say, retreat from, which is somewhat unfortunate, but not really much I can do about that. And we're just going to speed things up for the remainder of this fight, and then we'll be done. There we go, yes. Okay, so one of the sieges I actually did off-screen, they did not retreat to the castle, because my forces were able to kill all of them before they had any meaningful moves towards that action, which is really quite fantastic. I never would have expected that, to be honest, because usually we are not able to do that, so it's very cool to see that sometimes whenever that does happen. And they have, wow, they have 82,000 in the marketplace here. I can literally sell all of this if I want to, which I think I will do. And wait a minute, I need to sell some sheep and hog and so on and so forth. I don't really mind if the merchant, you know, doesn't have enough money to pay me right now. I'm just gonna go into Quyaz, and we're just gonna wait here for some time until we are able to award it to someone. And we're gonna, really? They want me to have this? Okay, sure, okay, fine. I will take it, even though I don't really want to, but I'm going to take it just because maybe it's a good idea. I personally don't want it, but, you know, maybe it's going to be okay. Maybe we can give it to someone or something like that later on, and we're just going to tell our improved garrisons to do its thing, and we're going to go for 250, and we're going to be a little bit more, shall we say, moderate in our settings this time around, because usually in previous versions I have always gone for something like 350 in towns and tier 5 units, and you know, 250 in castles and tier 4 units or tier 3 units in some cases. But yeah, that obviously has proven to be our undoing this time around, or at least in the sort of mid to late game section of this series, because we had just so much cost that we were, well, not having enough money, basically. Not having enough money at all. Aha, hello there. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy's army. He has 2,447 combat strength. I'm so pleased to see him down here, to be honest, because he's finally actually helping us and contributing to our expansion in the Azerai territory. I mean, hilariously enough, he was just up here doing massive damage to the Vlandians, so I don't think we really need to berate him that much, but yeah, generally it's really nice to see one of our armies finally coming down here and doing some damage to the Azerai. Okay, so do we have anything here that we can spend? No, there is nothing. And yeah, roguery is just still fantastic. It's literally doing so much work right now. And let me see if I can maybe attack these guys. We're moving at 4.9 right now. I have no herd deficit, so that's pretty good. No penalties whatsoever there. 356. I'm thinking we're probably going to take these castles, because no doubt these armies would most likely prefer to take something else. So I'm going to take this castle real fast. Alright, so we just made peace with the Southern Empire, which is quite good. I would like to go into Ukbar Castle in just a second. Unfortunately, Unkid's army is right here, and he is actually wanting to engage me pretty badly. And I would prefer to take something before their war exhaustion kicks in, because it is going to kick in just now. So I'm very much hoping I will be able to... Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, I'm going to decline this for the moment, just in the hope that I might be able to take Sonala before his army. Wow, there's... Are you serious that there's two of them? Okay, there's literally two of them. Okay, so he's gone over there to take Iakis. That kind of makes sense. And Fea's army is going over there to try and take Askar. That also makes sense. That's a very, very smart AI decision right there. And now we have to be a bit careful, because obviously I'm perfectly fine to attack Unkid's army. He had 700 combat strength up until a few moments ago, but now he has only 400, so I should be able to take him on. Unfortunately, he has a very, very strong army nearby. Oh, never mind. Suruk? Why do you have an army of 98, sir? You have an extremely small army. Oh, did they all made it inside? Are you serious right there? They all made it inside? That has to be the most hilarious thing ever. I cannot believe that. Wow. That is amazing. Okay, well, whatever the case, this is one of my favorite maps. I personally really like fighting in desert maps. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's because there's not so much... I don't know, ground clutter. There are no trees, or very few trees usually. And you get to see the dramatic contrast of all of the javelins sticking in the ground so much easier, because obviously if they're, you know, embedded in the grass in regular field battles, then you're not really going to see them that clearly, because obviously the grass is dark and the javelins are obviously wooden colored, so they're, you know, it's going to be a bit difficult to see. But on sand, that's completely different. So that's maybe the reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just really cool looking as well. I don't know. I mean, I like it. I like it quite a bit. Anyway, let's see what I can do here. I'm going to ignore the cavalry for the most part. I'm going to ignore them, and we are just going to make our way over to where the enemy is. Can we actually have them face this direction as well? Can you actually face this direction, guys? Yeah, they're actually doing a good job now. Okay. Yes, face this direction. That's great. So that they can finally, you know, look towards their opponent, because obviously they're going to automatically look towards their closest opponents, which is obviously the cavalry at this point. So we really don't want them to do that. Oh, wow, that's a lot of enemies coming in. Okay, let's be a bit careful. Okay, I'm going to need to get out my thrown weapons, I think. Oh, nice. Nice hit. Nice hit. Okay, come on now. Do you want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? Yeah, apparently they do. And apparently they're not afraid to get it. Okay, that is perfectly fine. Okay, let's start moving. Let's start moving up here. And my forces should theoretically be fine. Oh, nice. Hit him off his mount. I like it. Wow, those reins are going absolutely crazy because we hit him while he was still holding them, so they're just like flailing around everywhere. You know, I feel like if we had that perk on every single one of our troops right now, this would be an absolute bloodbath. I mean, it's not that it's not going to be a bloodbath right now, but you never know. You know, it would be amazing to see all of their javelins penetrating these shields every single time they would shoot one. Because they have how many? They have 15 each, right? They have 15 each or something like that? So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's the one thing I miss about not having an axe now as well, by the way. Having the ability to destroy shields very, very fast. But I guess it's not too bad, because I do very much like the sword and the way that it reacts to being able to duel, basically. Because being able to duel in certain situations, like in close quarter situations and sieges, being able to make your way through enemy lines so effortlessly, instead of having a much slower weapon, it really makes a huge difference. Well, that seems to be it. That seems to be it. Should I chase after this guy, or should I just not try to kill myself by falling off the cliff? Yes, probably not a good idea. Alright, there you go. We managed to defeat Unkid's army. I mean, obviously, you know, I was very confident in being able to do that, but I did not want to fight the others at the same time, because if we were going to fight them at the same time, then we we're just going to put ourselves in a situation where we could potentially suffer too many casualties, and I didn't want to have to do that. Okay, so let's see what's actually going to go on here. Saruk, hello there. Why is he running around so randomly? Right? What is he actually doing? This guy is super weird. Look at him. He's literally trying to attack one of our vassals, but they're attacking with such a minimal force that they really had nothing here. And what is this menu? Did you see that? It just had continue on it. Okay. Well, whatever the case, we were able to defeat Saruk's army. Yes, that was a very impressive feat, wasn't it? Yes, super impressive. And I'm going to go and try and take Sanala like I wanted to. Oh, hello. Hashan's army. I'm actually going to go over there and literally auto-resolve against this guy because he only has 350. Yeah, look at that. Super, super easy win. Because you may think that he had over 1,000 combat strength, but he actually didn't. Because I've worked out now, I mean, I worked it out a long time ago, actually, in the series, but I maybe neglected to mention it, I'm not entirely sure. But generally, the combat strength display only applies when the enemy units are all in the same army right then and there. You know, they might be called to the army and then take on the value of combat strength that they have all together. But the way that it works is, for example, you think this guy has a combat strength of 1200? No way, not in a million years, right? However, if they're all together, then they do, you see. So even if they are far away from the army, it makes no difference, as it is right now, for them to have that many people. Wait a minute, there's 800 in here. Well, Iakis has just been taken, which is really good. So let's just give that to someone. And yeah, I mean, as I say, I would like to take Sonala, but it seems like such a such a difficult thing to do right now, especially considering there are so many units in the... What? There are no vassals in there? I actually thought they had many vassals in there for some reason. Okay, apparently there are no vassals in there whatsoever. Oh, wow. That was a huge mistake on this guy's part. Okay, should I try to... Wait a minute. Does this guy own anything? Because I'm thinking that we might try to persuade him to join us. I know that he was actually a part of us before, but he tried to betray us. But if he has something... No, he doesn't have anything. Okay. Well, this is where executing someone might be pretty good. You know, dishonorable vassals and things like that. You could, you know, execute them, but I don't have that mod installed at the moment, so it makes no sense for me to do that, unfortunately. I don't really want to take the prisoners right now either. We're just going to take all of this. I don't actually have enough horses to be able to make this work, but let's just try it. Wait a minute. I don't have enough. I don't have enough units to be able to do this comfortably, so I'm going to have to wait a little bit of time, which I definitely did not want to do, but that's just how it goes, I guess. Let's go over here and maybe try and see if we can sell some of our loot. And, oh, they want some marshals. Okay, yeah, sure. I don't really mind. I'm basically just accepting pretty much any policy that happens because I am unable to stop it. There are way too many costs associated with that. My influence is just not enough, which is hilarious in itself. Anyway, gonna get some more troops, go into the marketplace, and then we will sell all of this. There we go. Okay, I need to buy some more horses. So let's buy a bunch of mules while I have the ability to do so. There we go. Fantastic. All right, that's all I really wanted to do. Okay, so let's take a look at the map right now, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay, so as you can see, Askar is just about to fall, and we've already taken Iakis. We've taken all the other castles in this area as well, with the exception of Ukbar Castle, as well as Sonala. And that is indeed that for the Aserai. And the Crusade have been having a little bit of a resurgence here. They're attempting to take a variety of castles in the area around Erzina and Akisa Castle, but that is obviously not really going to make that much difference in the end, because we have two armies in that area. You could see one is already on its way to besiege Akisa Castle, and we can see that Abelitos' army is attempting to take Erzina Castle, which is great. So the only other thing that we need to deal with once the Aserai are done is the Southern Empire. As you can see, they made peace with us very recently, and they only have Melion Castle available to them. And apart from that, we have the Northern Empire with this town, and we have Vlandia with two towns. Oh, we actually have the Northern Empire with 2 fiefs, not just the one town, but they have 2 fiefs. And then the Vlandians have 2 towns and 3 castles. And that's it. And so I suppose I will save those for the next episode, and then we will see an entire, complete domination of Calradia. And so I should probably say, I'm going to say some preliminary thank yous to you right now. So thank you for sticking with me up until this point, and, well, stay tuned for one more after this. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.